Second spiritual truth of power: honor one another. Honor one another. It's a really good place to talk about how we walk through the world in right relationship to one another. How we walk through the world in spiritual power rather than in resentment or anger or judgment. How we live life so that we don't cause pain to people around us, consciously or unconsciously, because we're in relationship with everybody all the time, right? We're always in relationship. We're in relationship with our fathers and mothers, with our families, with our kids, with our co-workers, with the clerk at the grocery store, with our neighbors, with everyone that we interact with. We're in relationship with. We're in relationship with our jobs and our homes and the nature and the planet. We're in relationship all the time. That's the interesting thing about being human. You know, last week we talked about the underlying reality of all of that, and that is oneness. There's only one of us. And at the same time, it's about this other that we're in relationship with. So the first place that we have to start is holding that paradox in some way that it makes sense to us. The oneness that we catch a glimpse of sometimes, and then this otherness that we're in relationship with all the time. It's a difficult thing, and it's particularly difficult when things like this happen, and the ego, the first thing wants to happen is we rush to judgment of one sort or another, and we have to wade through that until we get to the place of love. And it occurred to me that one of the keys to all of this is remembering that every relationship is a spiritual messenger. It's like a messenger from spirit telling us about ourselves. Every relationship is a mirror for us of our own consciousness, if we have eyes to see and ears to hear. And so today I want to talk a little bit about how we can open our eyes and ears to the message of relationship. Because every single relationship, whatever its quality, whether it's casual or intimate or short or long or sexual or platonic, is a teacher for us. It is there to awaken us to greater awareness. And when we realize that and kind of realize the symbolic nature and power of relationships, we can sort of stop keeping track, keeping score, you know, that mental tabulation that we go through with every interaction. Am I getting as good as I'm giving? You know, we smile at someone and they don't smile back and we take it personally. We have no idea what their day is all about, but we take it personally anyway. We do this unconscious calculation all the time of whether, you know, somebody owes us something or we owe them. And we also carry around a lot of fear of other people that we're not even conscious of. You know, we're almost afraid to extend ourselves in many situations because we're afraid they won't reciprocate, or we're afraid they might snap at us, or if we're feeling very vulnerable, they don't smile back. We're fearful about being vulnerable. But if every relationship is a messenger from spirit, what is there to fear? If the message of the relationship, the interchange, is the mirror for us, what is there to fear? The only place we can look back on is ourselves, right? I smile at somebody and they don't smile back. The message for me is my reaction to that. It doesn't have anything to do with the other person. It's my reaction to it. If I see someone of a different color or a different socioeconomic status or a different gender or whatever, and I judge them, the message for me is about my judgment. The gift there is the mirror of my judgment, so that I can take it in and look at it. The whole point of these spiritual messengers, I think, is to teach us how to keep our hearts open. Always. And to learn to hang out with people who nurture our spiritual growth, and to stop hanging out with people who try to hold us back out of their own fear and those who want to stunt our growth Relationships teach us about our own motivations, every single one of them. And they're a lot about spiritual power, because every time we try to form a relationship, we use some of our power to form it, right? We extend ourselves. And the relationship continues to bring us opportunities to ask whether the relationship supports us or depletes us. Whether we are compromising ourselves, or maybe we're asking the other party to compromise. Whether we're taking everything personally, or whether we are continuing to keep our hearts open. Because relationships, here's the cool thing, in this whole paradoxical thing about being human, part of the one and part of the seeming individualization, is because we're in a relationship all the time, and relationships by their nature generate conflict. They do. Conflict arises every time our egos don't get what they want, right? Every time that person over there doesn't do it the way I think they ought to, or in the way that pleases me, or they try to exert power over us. Conflict is there. Conflict brings us to a point of choice really fast. We get to choose how we proceed. We get to choose how we hold the other person. We get to choose whether we slam our hearts shut or keep them open. We get to choose what we do with our own power. Do we stand in it? Do we turn our backs on it? We can choose to use the conflict as a way to look at the other person's faults. If only they do it the way I want them to. We can choose to use our power to try to control the other person. We can use our power to try to do harm to another person. We can look outside there for a long, long, long time. And we've been there, done that. Anybody else? Oh, come on. I know you all have, right? It's what we do. It's what we're taught to do. On the other hand, if we view the conflict from the underlying truth of oneness, which is why it follows right after oneness, we can choose to manage the conflict in ourselves. It's an energy conflict inside of us. That's all it is. From this inherent consciousness of oneness of everything that exists. We can say, how can I be in this relationship and be supported? How can I be in this relationship and keep my heart open? How can I be in this relationship and continue to support? Obviously, that gets us a lot farther than looking out there for somebody to blame. Whenever we remember that these relationships are a mirror for us, whenever we remember we're always a choice, we're moving forward. We can't help it. Because it's the consciousness that the choice is ours in the moment. But the minute that we forget that and start to focus on the other person, we are keeping the conflict alive. We're keeping it alive. If we can just remember that all relationships are spiritual messengers gifted to us to show us our own consciousness at play, we're way, way, way ahead. And you know, we have these areas of life that seem to bring this whole issue up more, like money and creative energy and sex. Those are the three biggies. How do we behave in those areas? You know, we use our creative energies all the time. And we can run into conflict in the use of those creative energies. We use them at work. We use them in our families. We use them making dinner. We use them deciding what to wear in the morning. And we can run into conflict because somebody else might use their creative energies in a way we actually like better, so we get jealous. Or somebody else might use their creative energies in a way that feels like it's impinging on us, and before we figure out our own position in it, we cop a resentment. If we are blocking our creative energy because we're holding negative emotion about it, we lose the ability to let our creative energy find the solutions we need every single day. Do you know how many decisions we have to make every single day? When you stop and think about it, it boggles the mind. We are at choice like every nanosecond, and we're always having to make decisions about how we're going to proceed. So if we're keeping our energy flowing, it's working for us all the time. We're able to say, oh, I see how I can do that better than I did it last time. If we just stay aware of releasing the negative and allowing the flow, the problems sort of get creatively solved, and our lives get better and better and better. So we can either block it or allow it to flow. And sexuality is another area where great conflict arises. Women are trained to believe that there's something shameful about our sexual feelings. We're trained to believe that we can reward good behavior or punish bad behavior. I mean, read Lysistrata. It's been around for thousands of years, and it's about withholding sex to get the boys to play nice, right? They've been saying that forever. We're taught that men only want one thing, so what can we trade it for? And men are taught to be anxious about their performance. And at the same time, they're taught that they need to control their sexual energies, but that their sexual energies are uncontrollable. It's crazy making for all of us. It's crazy making for all of us. There's so many mixed messages. You know, the whole one about what can I trade sex for makes us prostitutes, right? We're trading sex for something. If we're ashamed of our sexual feelings, how do we deal with that? If we're anxious about our performance, not much is happening. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, we can really mess ourselves up just by allowing all these negative messages about part of our sacred energy, which is expressed through our sexual feelings. If we learn to allow and accept and continue to let flow those energies that are part of our spiritual power, we don't have to act on them. We just don't have to try and bottle them up inside and, you know, label them and make bad things happen because of them. If we just respect them as part of our spiritual power, then our sexual exchanges are fair exchanges that are made from a place of open-heartedness, from a place of respect and honor rather than manipulation or shame or anxiety or scorekeeping. And then, of course, there's money. There are more mixed messages about money than anything else, I think. I think in our society, we have misconceived money and given it the place of the life force itself. And it is not the life force. It is a medium of exchange, a neutral substance. So what really matters is our intent. How do we spend money to extend our energy out into the world? And then the decision becomes, how do I want to extend my energy out into the world? When we think of it that way, we see its symbolic nature. And we realize that it is, once again, a place we are at absolute choice. And if we make the choice from our hearts, with the idea of honoring the people we are dealing with, and stepping away from fear and ego and indoctrination in all of these, then we're in a place where our spiritual power is at its maximum. All of these relationships come down to really a single statement of ethics: honor one another. It's that simple. If we approach everyone we meet with honor, the honor that naturally accompanies knowing that the person is a divine messenger for us, we approach them with honor, means we see them as equal, as vitally important to this universe, just as we are. And I have to tell you, I think seeing everyone this way is more essential now than it's ever been. I think it is absolutely what's needed. You know, we are in such a big transition right now, which we are evolving very rapidly and trying to become a heart-centered, relational society, so to speak. And those who don't want things to change are pushing back. And we see that in our politics, and we see it in our discourse, and we see it in tragic displays like what happened this week, where a young man who was indoctrinated in a certain way, absolutely estranged from his own spiritual power, walked into a church, and the oldest black church in America, a very symbolic church, and killed 9 people because they were black. So the things that are unlike love and honor and respect and caring, we can approach one of 2 ways. We can let them just push us into despair, or we can say, what here is mine to learn, and then what is mine to do. One of the things is to keep the truth in our hearts and minds, the truth that every single one of us is part of the one, part of the one. Bishop John Richard Bryant was in Charleston at Morris Brown AME Church on Thursday, and he said, we're like a quilt. Each one of us looks like a patch, and we each belong somewhere, but we're all part of the same quilt. Every one of us. We're all part of the same quilt called humanity. The only way I know of that this kind of madness can be ended is for enough of us, with the help of our spiritual practice and our spiritual study, and with the help of these mirrors called relationships, for enough of us to look deeply enough into ourselves to find and root out anything that doesn't correspond to this spiritual truth of power, honor one another. If there's anything inside of us that excludes a group or a type or a person from the honor that we bestow on others, then we have to be willing to look at it, to acknowledge it, and to choose differently, to choose to swing the door of our hearts back open and remember that we're all patches in the same quilt, and that every one of us needs to be honored. We have to be willing to extend the hand of kinship, the hand of respect, the hand of communion to everyone. We have to be willing to say, because there's only one of us here, I respect you. I respect you for the divine messenger you are for me. And sometimes that's all we can say. And I choose to commune with you so I can learn the lesson you are here to teach me. You know, if we do that from a place of faith instead of fear, if we extend the hand of kinship in love instead of hatred, if we extend the hand of respect from power rather than divisiveness, honoring each other becomes who we are. It becomes what we do because of who we are. And we begin to balance that paradox of one and other, of unity and relationship easily, much more easily. I won't say it's ever easy, but it's much easier if we can just remember that our hearts are the place where the honor lives, and if we just extend it from there outward. So I want to invite you right now to just close your eyes and take a couple of breaths and let yourself relax. And imagine that you're breathing into and out of your heart. And imagine that with every breath in, the infinite love of Spirit is flowing into you. You are breathing it in. And with every exhale, you are distributing the infinite love of Spirit to your world. You breathe in love and you breathe out love. You breathe in love, not just any love, but infinite love. And you breathe out infinite love. Bring into your mind's eye a person or a situation or a group or a political party or an institution with whom you have difficulty. or have had difficulty. And in your mind's eye, from your heart, extend to them the hand of honor, the hand of kinship, the hand of communion. Ask them what they've come here to teach you. And know that if you don't hear the answer right now, you will in the hours and days to come. Just let this person or group or institution rest gently in your mind and in your heart until you find the place of honor. It may be that you honor them simply because they are part of the universe or for the lesson they brought you, but there may be something deeper yet, a deeper place of honor in you. Perhaps they taught you about boundaries or even survival. Honor that. Perhaps they are teaching you what you don't want in life. Honor that. Honor the relationship. And now let them go, knowing that in this moment of letting go, of honoring, you have acted from your spiritual power, from the place of divine life and oneness. You have given the world the gift of your truth, your presence, your heart, by honoring this other. So take a breath and give thanks for this moment of peace that is right here and right now. And let go of this person, this group, this institution. Let the universe take them. Let them go in peace. Let yourself be in peace. And let yourself return to this place and this time, knowing that all is well. And we say together, and so it is.
I am just a thread, a simple thread in this glorious web of life. We are all just drops within a stream flowing towards an ocean of light. We may forget where we come from. We may forget where we're going to. I might not see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. I am just a seed, a blessed sea with eternity unfolding in me. And I pray that as I grow, I will reveal the love that illuminates my soul. When I remember where we come from, when I remember where we're going to, then I can see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. you. My simple prayer, may I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer, may I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer, may I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer, may I become a reflection of the infinite one.
Amen. Amen. We have an opportunity now to give in support of the work of this community, and we also have a moment to simply stop and be grateful for all the blessings of our lives, for all those people, those spiritual messengers who have come to show us ourselves, for those that we love, for our homes and our cars and our animals and our children and our friends, for life itself. There are so many blessings. So just let yourself be filled with gratitude. And as the basket passes through your hands, whether you're able to give or not, bless the prosperity of this community so that we may continue to do all that we came here to do and be all that we came here to be. And know with me, gratefully I give with an attitude of abundance. I know that as I give, so do I receive. And so it is. Yeah, Eric Clapton kind of is God, isn't he? Guitar God. And I have to tell you, you just need to read more British procedurals and then you would have known that word. Police procedurals. It shows up in almost every one. I have a few announcements for you. First of all, as you may know, the U.S. Supreme Court is expected to make a wonderful ruling allowing marriage to be legal for everyone in the country. Yeah. And yes, it's expected as early as tomorrow or maybe Thursday of this week. The day it comes out, there'll be a press conference at 2 and a service of celebration at 7, both at Harmony Creek Church, which is up on Bigger Road. And you all are invited. We are part of a group of communities, churches that are sponsoring these events and then putting a full-page ad in the Dayton Daily News the Sunday after the decision letting people know that we stand for the rights of all people. So we are part of that. Whatever day it comes out, 2 is the press conference, and then the service is at 7 at Harmony Creek Church. Don't forget, today is the last day to place your bids on events for Cooking with God. The bidding will close at the end of the silent meditation tonight, which is at 6:30. So it'll be around 7:30. Cooking with God is a fundraiser, F-U-N raiser, where people put together events that involve food and fun, and other people bid to go to those events. The proceeds come back to the center, and the people who attend, the high bidders, get to have an evening of enjoyment with some of the people from the center that they may not know. It is a wonderful, there was always so many fun events. So go over on the table, take a look at them, and place your bids. And if you've already bid, make sure you're still in the bidding. Someone may have outbid you. We have a new member class coming up tomorrow evening from 7 to 9. If you are interested in learning more about membership, will you please sign up for this class so I know who's coming? There's a sign-up sheet on the bulletin board by the bookstore door. There are also sign-up sheets there for a couple of introductory preview sessions, June 30th, which is a Tuesday, and July 6th, which is a Monday. Preview sessions of a thing called Geography of the Soul. It is the creation together of a vessel that is sacred and safe for us to listen to and draw on our own inner teacher. I think it's an incredible, I can't describe it. You can only experience it. So I'm inviting you to come and experience it. And then those who are interested can become part of a group that meets monthly, probably for the next 6 months, to continue to explore the inner landscape. Sign-up sheets for that on their bulletin board as well. Today is the last day to order your Praise Well with Other t-shirts. Is that not great?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Has our logo on the back and this fabulous graphic on the front. And they're $15. Is that $15? Is that right, Claire?
Yeah.
So Claire will be in the library. If you want to order one, she's going to place the order tomorrow at 10 a.m. So it is the last day to pre-order your shirts. Your shirts, not your shorts. I didn't sleep a whole lot last night, so I'm a little bit loopy today. So there will be a very short Ignite meeting right after the service in the sanctuary. And I want to tell you that the Spiritual Book Club is on vacation for the summer. They'll be coming back in September. And next Sunday at 12:15, the social and the green teams will both meet. Hey, let's see, there was one other thing. I think that's it. I think I have covered everything. This is the time of the service also where we simply acknowledge our licensed spiritual practitioners. If you would like prayer after the service for anything at all, you can see one of the people with the shawl, the blue, teal, or white shawl on. They will give you what we call a 1-minute miracle. It is a gift of prayer. They have spent a long time becoming able to see the truths for you even when you can't. And so take advantage of that. You can also leave a written prayer request if you'd like to remain anonymous in the prayer chest on the table by the door. You can make them online on our website. You can call the prayer line, which is listed on your program. We believe in the efficacy and power of prayer, so please take advantage of the gift of the practitioners after service. So let's stand for our closing affirmation and our closing song, which is One Love, One Love. Let's get a little reggae going on here. The wholeness of the universe is seeking expression through me.
The wholeness of the universe is seeking expression through me.
Its nature is goodness.
Its nature is goodness.
Truth.
Truth.
Beauty.
Beauty.
And wisdom.
And wisdom.
I allow it to shine through me.
I allow it to shine through me.
Today and always.
Today and always.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.
You too.